In this video, you'll get a chance to improve listening skills, expand your vocabulary, and practice speaking a bit through a film summary. The film summary is divided into 5 parts for listening practice. Each part includes new vocabulary with a practical task, a listening section, and a comprehension check. First, you'll go over essential vocabulary and practice with a short activity. Then, in the listening section, just listen to the story and enjoy it. Listen carefully to see if you can complete the comprehension task afterwards. I'll show the answer at the end. Ready? Let's hit it. To confront, to face somebody or something directly, especially in a challenging or difficult situation. She had to confront her fears to succeed. A recruiter, a person who finds the highest individuals for jobs organizations. The company hired a recruiter to fill several positions. To treat somebody, to behave towards someone in a particular way. He treated his employees with respect and kindness. To hint, to suggest something in an indirect way. She hinted at the surprise during dinner. To defy the warning. To openly refuse to follow a warning. He defied the warning signs and entered the danger zone. To remove something. To take something away or eliminate it. To remove the old decorations from the wall. Presumed. Assumed to be true, expected without being proven. They went to the house of the presumed owner. To reveal. To make something known, show something that was hidden. To reveal the secret to her best friend. Match the beginning and ending. Do you remember how the first season ended? Song Ji-han's at the airport, ready to board the plane to reunite with his daughter in the US. But meanwhile there, he called the number on the game's business card to confront their game recruiter, demanding to know who they were and why they treated people like animals. What happens next? He receives a phone call from the front man, who wants him to board the plane, hinting that they're still watching. Defying the warning, Ji-han leaves the airport and heads back to Seoul. He discovers a tracking device implanted behind his ear and removes it with a box cutter in a shop bathroom. The scene shifts to Detective Wang Jun-ho, who was presumed dead after being shot by his missing brother, the frontman, and fallen off a cliff in the first season. Flashbacks reveal that he survived and is now recovering in a hospital. Answer the questions. To pull over. To bring a vehicle to a stop at the side of the road. The police officer pulled over the car for speeding. To smooth things over. To make station less tense or conflict-free by calming people down or resolving issues. She tried to smooth things over after the argument. To end up. To eventually become or be in a particular state or situation. He ended up being the leader of the team. To dump somebody. To end up a relationship or break up with somebody. She was dumped after their relationship fell apart. To insist. To demand something strong and refuse to accept the position. He insisted on finishing the project by the deadline. To refrain from. To avoid doing something. She refrained from speaking during the meeting. Secluded. Remote, private, or not crowded. They stayed in a secluded cabin in the woods. To compel. To force somebody to do something. The teacher's lecture compelled the students to pay attention. An ally. A person or country that is associated with another, especially in a shared effort or alliance. They were allies during the war. Matching the synonyms. Two years later, Jun-ho has returned to regular police work as a street officer. While patrolling, he pulls over a motorcyclist without a helmet. The motorcyclist's girlfriend tries to smooth things over by flirting with Jun-ho, but ends up being dumped by her boyfriend. Despite being back to routine work, Jun-ho's mind remains on the mysterious island where the games took place. He smiled when he saw his chief. Over dinner, they discuss the island. Although his chief is skeptical, Jun-ho insists the games are real, even though his evidence was lost when his phone fell into the sea. He refrains from revealing that he recognized the frontman. Meanwhile, Ji-han is living in a secluded motel. One night, through the CCTV cameras, he notices a couple looking for a place to stay. When the doorbell rings, he feels uneasy, grabs his gun, and goes to the door. The game's business card is slid under the door. This compels him to open it. On the other side, he sees the frontman holding the severed heads of his former allies, Cho Sang-woo, and can't say Björk. He wakes up. It was a nightmare. Shortly after, his friend Kim Jong-rae visits him with supplies and updates on his 2-year search for the recruiter. Determined to intensify the search, Jihan provides a large cash payment. Mark was dismissed true or false. To venture out to sea, to go onto the ocean or sea, the fishermen ventured out to sea at dawn. To head to more travel towards a particular destination. They headed to the city for the festival. To mock, to ridicule and make fun of somebody or something. They mock his attempts at solving the puzzle. Greed, an intense and selfish desire for something, often wealth or power. His greed for more money blinded him. To discard something, to get rid of something as no longer useful or desirable. He discarded the broken chair in the alley, filling the gaps in the text with the words from the box. Junho refused to give up on finding the island. Together with the fisherman who saved him after his fall, he repeatedly ventures out to sea in search of it. After 2 years of investigation, Kim and his partner Choi spot the recruiter at an underground station playing takji with a young man who seems to ignore his presumably pregnant girlfriend holding the game's business card. Kim and Choi follow the recruiter, stay in contact with Jihan. The recruiter buys large amounts of pre-packaged bread and lottery tickets, heading to a park. There, he forces homeless people to choose between food and a chance at money. Many choose the tickets, only to lose, leaving the bread uneaten. The recruiter mocks them, blaming their greed for the waste, as he discards the bread in front of them. Match the actions to the characters. By a twist of fate, a surprise and unexpected event happens by coincidence or chance. By a twist of fate, they met again years later. Swiftly, quickly and efficiently, the cast sped was swiftly from the scene to overpower somebody, to defeat or control somebody through strength or force. The champion managed to overpower his opponent easily. Russian roulette, a deadly game involving a gun with only one loaded chamber. The game of Russian roulette was nerve-wracking for everyone. To investigate, to examine, study, or search something thoroughly. The detective continued to investigate the case. Choose the correct answer. Jihan rushes to catch the recruiter, but drives too fast and gets pulled over by 2 street officers. By a twist of fate, one of them is Junho. Meanwhile, Kim and Choi confront the recruiter in an alley. However, he swiftly overpowers them. They wake up tied to chairs, forced into a sadistic game combining rock, paper, scissors with Russian roulette. The stakes are deadly, and Kim loses his life. Still investigating the games, Junho follows the lead to Sunshine Capital, a company linked to Jihan. Breaking into the office, he uncovers files connecting Jihan to the games, including a car rental contract and his current address at the Pink Motel. Answer the questions. To accuse somebody. To charge somebody with wrongdoing or fault. He accused his colleague of stealing the documents. A puppet, a personal thing manipulated by others, like an autonomy. The politician was seen as a puppet of the powerful lobbyists. A mastermind, a highly intelligent person who plans or leads complex operations. He was the mastermind behind the entire heist. To dispose of, to get rid of something or somebody, often in a deliberate way. The company decided to dispose of all the equipment. Inevitable, certain to happen, unavoidable. The outcome was inevitable after such a long wait. Pull off the trigger. The action of pressing the firearms trigger to fire it. He pulled the trigger but nothing happened. To taunt, to provoke or challenge somebody in an insulting manner. The taunt ended for his poor performance. A pawn, a personal thing manipulated or used as a means for others to achieve their goals. She felt like a pawn in their political games. Find the inappropriate words in the sentences and replace them with appropriate ones from the box. The recruiter waits for Jihan at the motel, intrigued by his survival of the games. Jihan confronts him, accusing him of being the puppet for the game's masterminds. Angered, the recruiter reveals his tragic backstory. Once a cleaner for the games, he disposed of players' bodies. His loyalty earned him a gun, but his first target turned out to be his own father, a task he completed without hesitation. To make a point, the recruiter challenged Jihan to a game of Russian roulette. With the gun's chamber rigged to stop rotating, death becomes inevitable by the 6th round. Jihan faces the challenge, surviving each pull of the trigger. On the 5th round, the recruiter taunts him, daring him to cheat and shoot back. Instead, Jihan aims at himself again and survives. Turning the recruiter's words against him, Jihan accuses him of being nothing more than a pawn. Overwhelmed, the recruiter takes the gun and shoots himself. Put the events in the correct order. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like, drop a comment and subscribe for more. Bye!